what we're going to do in this video is we're going to have a look at some different Leatherman multi-tools and have a discussion about which one I'm going to keep, why I'm going to keep that one, and obviously the other ones I'm just going to send back to Amazon. Why do I want a multi-tool? Primarily for my Norway skiing, backpacking, hiking, camping trip with the Toaks skis and such like. Let's just briefly talk law. Now, this is not legal advice, so obviously search out your own information, but a multi-tool like this, or a small pocket knife with a small non-locking blade, so even though it's clicking into place, it's not locking. In other words, you can close it carefully by one movement. You don't need to press or push anything to close it, and it has to be less than about 1.8 centimeters or 3 inches. So this you could carry on you at all times in the United Kingdom, because our rules are quite strict here, and never have a problem with it. You can't use it as a weapon, you can't threaten anyone or do anything stupid like that, because then you would get into trouble. So something like this is legal carry at any time, for the most part, without a specific reason. All of these have one thing in common, which makes everything here illegal to carry in the United Kingdom without a reason, and that is because they lock into place. So you can't close it without a second movement. So your first movement is to press a button or push something and then close it. So all of these are illegal to carry in the United Kingdom without a purpose. So obviously if you do fishing, camping, backpacking, where you might need something like this, if you're if you've got your sled and you're sledding, then you may want something like this. Obviously if you're a workman or such like that, then again you have a specific reason, and if you were stopped, then you'd be okay. But just be prepared to explain why you have got a locking knife in the United Kingdom if you are stopped. All of these are less than 3 inches. This one, as we'll see, is just over 3 inches. It's about 3 and a teeny bit over 3 inches, which makes the blade on the Surge illegal in the UK to carry because it's over 3 inches, but it's no more illegal than any of these, because like these, it's lockable, and therefore, unless you have a specific reason, again, it is no different to, carrying, a Ramirez knife or something like that, or one of your Wiltshireman Sandys knife. If you have a reason, then these are okay, even though one is over 3 inches. If you're lucky enough to have one that's just over 3 inches, then these are legal carry with a reason. The first one that I picked up was this one. I really like this one, but I'm actually going to send this one back because it's over £100. If this was legal carry in the UK, I would probably have kept this one, to be fair, because I really like it. It's quite colourful. It's got a decent blade on it. It opens nicely, but because it's lockable, I can't carry it in the UK. I like to carry a penknife, and this obviously is more than adequate, to be fair, for anything I'm likely to do outside the house. But if I was legally allowed to carry this, then this is actually quite a nice, you know, quite a nice penknife to carry. But we're not allowed to. So you can open this one up. This is the Leatherman Skeletool CX. It's very basic, this one. It's very lightweight. It's less than 150 grams. So if you want a multi-purpose tool that's, you know, very lightweight, then, you know, then you're not going to go far wrong with this. Basically, you've got your needle nose pliers, you've got your pliers, your wire cutters. You can't change the wire cutters. You have a bit there, like a screwdriver bits. If you want to do some screwing, you've got a screwdriver bit there, very neatly in there. You've got another bit in there, so you can change the you know, the bits, whatever they're called on that. And that's basically it. And then obviously your blade is about 2.5 inches on this one, I believe. Don't take my measurements exactly. As I say, that's about 150 grams. It's just under, but for round figures, it's 150 grams. The next one up, which is slightly more of a budget version than this, but it's more capable than this. I think it was a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit heavier, but not much. It's just under 200 grams. And this is the Wingman. Again, you know, this would be quite a nice tool to carry. You've got a lot of features on it. You've got pliers that are spring loaded on this one, and they're not on any of the others. On the outside of this one, you have a blade with a serrated blade, you know, as part of the same blade there. And then this side, to be fair, you've got a pretty decent pair of scissors there. That actually looks pretty decent. To be fair, I haven't tried cutting or anything, but you know, it's not a bad pair of scissors. It's a decent size. Again, the scissors are lockable. The blade also locks. The next one up, this is 250 grams or thereabouts. This is the Wave Plus. This is the Leatherman Wave Plus. You obviously got your pliers on the front. Now we're starting to get where you can change the blade color, the blade cutters or the wire cutters in there. Got your needle nose there, and then obviously your pliers there. Let's have a look on the outside of this one. So on the outside, one of the reasons why I'm not going to keep this one, apart from the same reason as most of the others, you know, the lack of being able to use it, is with most of these you've got this little groove thing here, and it's, you know, it's easy to open. The Wave Plus, it's even with, you know, pliable fingers, it's not the easiest to open. It's quite tricky. So one side you've got the blade, and then a file on the other side of the wave. So diamond cut that side, cross cut that side. Just one thing I remember on, actually I didn't show you the tools inside this one, did I? The tools you get inside on this one, a 2D posi driver and a flathead screwdriver, and then over here looks like a can opener, a measure of some description, although realistically what use that is I don't really know, and then a file, but it's a file that only goes one way. And then I'm guessing that's probably like a parcel opener or something like that. So that's your tools inside that one. And and a rough sided blade thing there for seat belts and things like that, which is another reason why it's a little bit silly that you can't carry these in the UK, because they actually have safety features on them that if you were in your car and you needed to get your seatbelt out, that is the type of blade that you would use to cut through your seatbelt, or any rough material, ropes and things like that. So that will like cut through ropes and such like more easily, you know, than that type of thing. But that's the Wave Plus. That's about 250 grams. So these are all the ones that I'm 100% going to return, because there is just, I'll keep that. There is no point in keeping these. This is the one that at the moment I can't quite make up my mind. I quite like this one. I like this one a lot. It's just under 250 grams. So it's a little bit lighter than the Wave Plus. So they've obviously just used slightly lighter materials on the outside, but it is exactly the same. It's just a little bit more, basically the charge, this is the charge, is just a little bit more premium than the Wave Plus. So again, you can change the wire cutters if they go blunt. You've got your nose tip pliers, your pliers, wire cutters. I think there's a cringe thing in there for squashing wires and such like. We've got 3 tools. In fact, the tools on this is exactly the same as this, so I don't think I showed you everything on that one either, which is pretty pretty poor, isn't it? So getting carried away. So inside the Wave Plus, you've got a screwdriver that is replaceable, and you can get extra bits there that you can switch them out. You get a bottle opener and a wire threading thing there. And then on this side, you get an eyeglasses doodah there. You get a flathead screwdriver and a pair of scissors. So with this one, if you want the scissors, then you have to, and it locks into place, you have to get the scissors, you have to open it up and get the scissors, and then you've got these little scissors here. All of these lock into place, so you press down here and then that folds there. One difference with the Wingman is the bits inside, they don't lock, they click into place, so it clicks, but they don't lock into place. So yeah, so the Charge Plus is exactly the same as the Wave Plus, it's just a little bit lighter. Scissors, flathead screwdriver, and then your glasses doodah there. Obviously these lock into place, so with this you have to press that to close these. And then this side you've got the same screwdriver bit that of course you can take out, switch around as you wish, and a can opener obviously. I like this one a lot because it's quite lightweight. It's heavier than all of these, but it's quite a bit lighter than this one. But again, it's illegal to have in the UK, or to carry outside the house in the UK, unless you have a reason, the same as everything else. Realistically, I'm not going to use it camping, but certainly for skiing and that type of thing, something like this would be handy. But the one that I really like And I'm almost, well, I'm definitely going to keep this, even if I keep this one because it's a bit lighter, even if I keep the Charge Plus because it's a bit lighter. I'm definitely going to keep this just for the shits of it, really. This thing is just, this is extra. You buy that extra. I got that on Amazon. And then obviously you have to buy these things extra as well. But this is basically the Surge. And this is a 3-point tiny bit inch blade. So obviously the length is illegal in the UK. Its locking is illegal in the UK. So again, like everything else, unfortunately, unless you have a specific reason, like all of these others, this is illegal. Sorry to bang on about that, but it's just important to highlight that. Obviously, you've got your serrated blade there for your seat belts or ropes and such like. And then on this side, you've got a really nice pair of scissors. That's some pretty chunky, juicy scissors there. And then really what I really like with this one is on this side you have, it's a saw, but it also comes with a file. So what you can do, it's not the easiest, it's not that difficult either once you've done it a couple of times, is you get your nail behind that one. It just basically just, you kind of got to push on that back that way, and then any jigsaw bit, you know, for your Black & Decker or whatever that has this type of, it's called a T-piece fitting, goes in there, locks in place, you can lock that, and then if you're more likely to use a file, then you've got a file. So, you know, you can change what you're going, you know, what you want to use. And like I said, you do have to get your if you're a workman, you've probably got, it's probably not good for the ladies with their nails, to be fair. But it just fits in there like that. And I do like this. I think that's pretty neat. I like the ability that you can change the saw out. Obviously, if you change it for another T-piece, then there's no guarantee that what you've put in here will close. It might be that you just have to use it, you know, and then put one of those back in again. But if you do bust your nail up, then at least you can file your nail down a bit. So that's everything on the outside of this thing. This is 350 grams, so it's 100 grams heavier than the Charge Plus. It's actually more like probably like 110 grams heavier, but it's bigger, it's beefier, it's a beast, this thing. Obviously, again, you've got lockable, so you've got to press down on that, so you can change out the bits. You've obviously got your can opener there and a wire threader there. Obviously on the front you've got your needle nose pliers, your wire cutters, which again you can change if necessary. And you've got your crimping thing, I believe, in there. And then on this side, and these bits I think would be potentially useful if you were, you know, in the outback as it were. You've got a flathead driver, thin one, a wider driver there, flathead, which you could also use for prying things. And I guess in an emergency, you've got an awl. I believe how this works is you kind of poke a hole through something, put some cord through there, and then pull it back again to pull your cord through the hole, and then you make another hole with the cord, and you know, you could presumably repair quite, it would be very tight. It's like sewing, but very slow and time consuming. But I guess if you needed to repair something that, you know, needed this, then, you know, you have that option. And I must admit, I quite like that. What you don't get with this, that you do get with the Wave Plus and the Charge, is an eyepiece, like a glasses doodah. But you do get, I can't quite tell, I think that's more flat actually than a screwdriver on there. But you do get a small thing there that would fit in, but I actually wonder whether that is, I can't tell with my eyes as to whether that is just a flat pokey thing or not. And I'm starting to wonder whether that's just a flat pokey thing now. So yeah, I'm not convinced that you actually get, so I don't think this thing here, which is probably a replacement for if you lose it in there, I don't think there's any way of retrofitting it to the Surge. But like I said, I really do like the Surge. It is heavier. You know, it is the heaviest of the bunch, and obviously I think with this one you kind of need to put it in its case. And then what I did with these, I thought, which bits am I most likely to not need realistically, but you know, to need. So I took some out from here and some out from here, which I'm less likely to use, put them in that one. And then so I've got some flat bits and just bits in here which I'm more likely to not need. And then they kind of go in the back there, and then the file goes in there. The only thing with this is I think it would be very, very easy for that file to fall out of there. So just for safety for the moment, I just put that bit extender in. What this extender is, I'll just show you, it's extra. I didn't have to get it. I kind of went through a Leatherman mad 5 minutes, I think. Is basically you take that out, you put that in, and then you put that in, and then you've got, you know, if you need an extra few inches, you know, then you've got that option. I mean, realistically, I don't think I'm going to use this much, if at all, but I like it. So, and I haven't got, you know, every man should have a Leatherman, and I'm 53 years old, and this is the first time I've ever had a Leatherman like that. Although, to be fair, I have, well, this is the Micro, which I've recently got, but I do have a Style CS, which is kind of reminiscent of this, but in this form factor, which they don't do anymore. This is one I'm going to keep. I think probably, I think I need to try and save some money. I think I probably will send the Charge back. I can always get it again in the future, you know, if I think I really need something, you know, lighter on a poke or something like that than 350 grams. But that kind of probably is the one I will keep, and I think I probably will return that one. So just think the tools in this, I think, are probably, for me, for my non-use as well, probably more useful than that. So for me, I'm going to keep the Surge, and I'm going to return the Charge, I'm going to return the Wingman, I'm going to return the Wave Plus, and sadly, but again, I just don't see the point. I really would like to keep this because it's really nice and colourful, but I can get it again in the future if necessary. But it's just, you know, it locks, and I can't, you know, if you had it on your person and you were walking around and you got stopped, you know, you could end up in the clink, and it's not worth it in this country. So much knife crime, they've just ruined it for everybody. Not that we need to be carrying something like that around, admittedly, but you know, I always carry a pocket knife. I always carry a pocket knife, so I'll carry on with a little one like that, which is more than adequate, to be fair. So this is what I'll be taking when I go to Norway on my ski trip. And really, I just started off by getting this, and then I kind of got this, and then this, and then I got this, and it just went ridiculous. And I thought, okay, I've got to narrow it down. So that's the one I will keep. I've got a few days. I don't have to return them just yet. So if there are any questions or comments on them, or you know, you want anything individual on them or something, you know, shout. Let me know what you think. Comments below, and thanks very much for watching.